Hello everyone and a warm welcome to all of you joining us today from all over the world. My name is Ashish Maheshwari and I'm one of your hosts for this webinar. I work with Cloud Wi-Fi as a head of strategy and customer engagement. So we are hosting this webinar in association with zoox. In this webinar, you will discover how zoox Captive Portal helps the transport industry to create new revenue opportunities and enhance the customer experience. So guys, I'm sure you are ready for this exciting session. So before we start, I want to talk a bit about our company, Cloud Wi-Fi, one of the hosts for this webinar. We are the leading distributor for the network design tools like Ikaho, Natalie, and a long-standing channel partner of Cisco Meraki. In the last 2 years, we have evolved to become an end-to-end solution provider for wireless network, including designs, planning, supply, installation, and troubleshooting. And we are the first company in India to offer regular training program in the field of wireless networking. By the way, we have a well-known Wi-Fi design course, ECAC, scheduled in this month from May 25th. You can see on the right of this slide, we have mentioned about the various training programs that we offer. Now, we are also proud to be associated with zoox and bring this Captive Portal solution to the Indian market. This will help companies in India, especially in transportation and in hospitality, to kind of monetize the Wi-Fi setup and also enhance the customer experience. So without any further ado, I'm inviting our speakers for today, both Irfan and Joseph from zoox. So over to you guys.
Hi everyone, thank you for participating in this webinar. My name is Erwan Le Goff. I am the Regional Director for zoox Smart Data, Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I will be your host for this presentation with my colleague, Joseph Lassima. I'm really happy to already work with Cloud Wi-Fi and to further increase our partnership through this webinar, where we will focus on Wi-Fi solutions for the transportation industry. Which brings me to the presentation of zoox. We are a US company based in Atlanta, and we are originally from Brazil. We have physical presence in Americas and Europe, and we sell our product in Asia thanks to our network of resellers, including the Cloud Wi-Fi in India. We started operating in 2007, and since then we grew quickly. We are doubling our size every year and expect to reach a workforce of 150 talents before end of this year. We are present in various sectors such as education, hospitality, and transportation, like airports, buses, and metro networks. We are also present in retail, restaurant chain, fitness centers, and banks. Our presentation will focus on transportation industry, where, as you can see on the screen, we have some prestigious clients like the New York subway, all Portuguese airports, and nearly all the transportation system of the city of Rio de Janeiro.
After this first introduction, you will now be able to watch the zoox introduction video, where you will know a bit more about who we are and what we do.
Real big data ain't easy. 4,000 plus locations, 20 million monthly connections, 6 countries, 8 offices. We help companies understand physical environments through big data. For each user who signs up on one of our platforms, a profile is created and nurtured by our hotspots around the world. We offer innovative solutions for the entire customer journey.
In order to give you a good flavor of our Wi-Fi Captive Portal, now I'm going to present you 3 business cases: a metro network, a group of airports, and a bus and coaches network. The first business case I'm presenting is a New York subway. We implemented zoox Wi-Fi in all 480 metro stations at the end of last year. The main objective from the client perspective was to monetize the huge audience they have. To give some numbers, they have 230,000 Wi-Fi connections per day. which represents 7 million connections per month. We designed the Wi-Fi portal with several advertising campaigns, and we managed to generate nearly 50,000 euros of advertising turnover per month. Additionally, we implemented the roaming functionality, which helped increase the Wi-Fi usage and the revenue from advertising. This business case gives you an idea about the level of revenue we can generate in large audience areas such as subways, train stations, airports, or even shopping centers. In this second business case, we are looking at a client who used to have difficulties with user experience and infrastructure consolidation. The 10 Portuguese airports belong to Vinci Airport Group and represented 60 million passengers in 2019. However, the Wi-Fi service was experiencing several issues that impacted the overall guest satisfaction until zoox arrived. Lisbon International Airport used to be one of the worst airports in Europe, in the segment of airports with more than 30 million passengers per year. What we did? We implemented zoox solutions with two objectives. First, improving guest experience by simplifying the Wi-Fi connection process. And second, implementing a stronger infrastructure monitoring solution. Through our system, we recommended to standardize all controllers with the same brand and model. We implemented roaming between airports, and we agreed to set up the most simple portal with no data connection, called Touch and Go. As the crisis was starting last year, we offered to implement advertising on the portal pages, which helped reimbursing the cost of the new infrastructure. The project gave such amazing results that it contributed to Lisbon Airport being elected Best European Airport at the end of last year. The last business case is related to a bus network in Brazil called JCA Group and operating 2,000 coaches in the country. In Brazil, there are 4,000 cities with over 10,000 inhabitants. It is important to understand that in Brazil, there are only 25 civil airports for 4,000 big and medium-sized cities, which means most of long-distance intercity travels are done by coach. Thus, in-bus connectivity is key for the comfort of passengers and to provide a better experience than the competition. With JCA Group, we provided in-bus Wi-Fi with a specific router per bus, with 4G dual chip and embedded Wi-Fi antenna. Obviously, as those coaches are crossing some parts of the country with nearly no mobile coverage, especially in the Amazonian forest, we had to look at the local content delivery, which is provided by a third party through a small server connected to the in-bus router, delivering some local entertainment contents such as music and movies. We also delivered an innovative functionalities with facial recognition for the bus ticket validation, as zoox also work on biometry. It is very simple. When the client buys a coach ticket on the JCA app, it has the option to take a selfie of him. The selfie is then linked to the ticket number. When the passenger enters the coach, no need to show the ticket. The driver will recognize the passenger and his ticket number thanks to the camera of his own device linked to the JCA administration app. As you can see, we already have success stories with several prestigious clients. However, we know that each client is different. We have to adapt our solutions according to their business challenges and expectations. So far, we did it successfully, and we are sure we, zoox and Cloud Wi-Fi, we can also help you address and solve your own challenges in order to match your expectations.
Our value proposition is to improve the user experience in a physical environment through existing Wi-Fi networks. We divide our product in 3 different modules: Smart Wi-Fi, zoox Media, and Smart Pass. Smart Wi-Fi. By connecting to the Wi-Fi networks, we're able to capture data and store it inside our dashboard. All this data is presented inside our dashboard in a comprehensive format to give an accurate vision of your Wi-Fi users and how your network is being used. Nowadays, many companies collect a lot of information, but in many cases, they do not take advantage of it. We help them to better understand and use this information correctly. zoox Media. By using our captive portal, we allow companies to set advertising campaigns, turning free Wi-Fi as a new source of revenue. Smart Pass. In addition to our Wi-Fi captive portal, we also provide high-level solutions such as biometry and facial recognition, which can be used for applications such as check-in for hotels or passengers identification in the transport industry. Inside zoox Wi-Fi, we have 3 core modules. Let's start with the Connect. Our clients are able to customize their captive portals in order to get the information they are looking for. The most common way is to include some fields such as name, email address, age, gender, or country in the online form. We can also collect this information through social network login. Obviously, we will collect such data in accordance with user acceptance and as per local regulations. We can also provide data enrichment via integration with big data. Our second module is the marketing tools. Integrated in the same platform, we offer marketing tools in order to do specific and hyper-targeted campaigns. We link the data we collected through the Connect module with a wide range of marketing solutions such as email marketing, brochures, net promoting score, satisfaction service, and even SMS marketing. And finally, presence and locations. By using geolocation and geofencing, we're able to track mobile and Wi-Fi enabled devices and see through a heat map where people are located and their flows in a physical environments. In this next slide, we can see the different functionalities included in each module. The Connect module is the main one with the following features. You can personalize the captive portal as per your needs. You may activate logging through social networks such as LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. Then, all your data and history will be available through an online dashboard. Each user will have its own profile that will be enriched every time it will connect to one of our thousands of hotspots in the world. Technically, we can create different connection plans where we can manage the bandwidth of download and upload, as well as the quality of service. We can also integrate our dashboard with many third-party solutions such as Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, or any other CRM or back-office solution.
We are hardware agnostic. Our captive portal sits on top of the Wi-Fi infrastructure. We just need to study the integration with the right hardware. We already work with 18 brands like Aruba, Cisco, Meraki, Ruckus, Fortinet, and so on. If we have projects with brands we do not know yet, it will take us just 3 to 4 weeks to study the integration with this new hardware and make it available to our customers and partners. For instance, as we speak, our experts are working on integrating zoox Wi-Fi with TP-Link and Huawei, which should be released end of May. We adapt our solution to any hardware as long as they can provide both functionalities of radius authentication and captive portal integration. Through this strategy, we aim to decrease the cost of migration to our portal to nearly zero. Inside our online knowledge base, you will find all the necessary documentation to connect your own infrastructure to our zoox captive portal. Obviously, we follow local regulations. Hence, in some cases, we adapt our functionalities in countries with high level of constraints with data protection. We consider at zoox that the data does not belong to us. We consider instead that user data belongs to the user itself. And this is what is driving our strategy in terms of product development and data privacy. As you can imagine, any incident related to data protection and our reputation will be at risk. We take this point very seriously and work with specialized law firms who advise us on how to adapt our solution and our organization accordingly.
We are now presenting the different kind of advertising that we can activate inside the captive portal. We can display static and dynamic banners, videos, or even satisfaction surveys. We have our own internal advertising agency called Zoox Media, which work with external agencies, several advertising marketplaces, and also Google Ads. We help our clients maximizing their advertising revenue by selecting the right option depending on the type of hotspot. We control the advertising content thanks to our own ad server, where we can filter with blacklist per category of advertising. Now, we're going to show you 4 different kind of portals that we have implemented with 4 different transportation companies. The first one is the portal for the Lisbon airport. As you can see, as our platform is multilingual, we can offer different kind of languages. This is a touch and go portal. The airport does not want to ask for any other demographic information. Only by accepting the terms of use and the privacy policy, the user can enter the network. On the other hand, in this portal, there is a static banner with advertising, plus another programmatic one below. After clicking connect, we jump to a status page, where we find 2 more advertisings. Now, we are connected to a network. The client can choose a redirection page where the user arrives after connecting. The second portal is the MTA Metro of New York. They also choose to have a touch and go portal. In this case, they show a video at the beginning of the connection process. Then, they jump to a touch and go login page. After this, the user arrives to a status page, where we find some programmatic advertising and a last click to enjoy the internet. The redirection in this case is to a medical spa center. The third portal that we're going to see now is from the JCA group in Brazil. In this case, they offer a multilingual portal as well, with a login register option and social media access. In this case, the company wants to keep the email of the user. By giving it and accepting the terms, the user can use the network. Once the user gets to the status page, they have the option to like the company Facebook page. By clicking continue, they can use the internet. The last portal that we will show is the Rio Galeão airport. In this case, as we can see, they offer to log in through social media and by giving your name and email. Then, we click connect and a satisfaction survey will appear. After answering it, we jump to a status page where the airport gives some promotions to the users and they can start enjoying the network. Now, let's have a look at our management platform. We're going to show you a very interesting functionality for the transport industry. This is called geolocation. This is the dashboard of one of our clients, the International Airport of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. You can already notice some key information such as quantity of Wi-Fi users and quantity of connections. There are also some interesting statistics, such as login method, type of devices, type of operating system, and even demographic information related to end users, such as age and origin. Some statistics related to Wi-Fi access is also available per hour, per day, or per month. Let's open some user profiles to display the data richness that we collect. There are several useful screens to display more analytic information, such as this one, which is more specifically dedicated to user data. You will notice on the top right side the possibility to export data and select the information you want to display. In this airport, we enable the geolocation. Each point represents an active device. Through this module, the airport teams are able to understand passengers' flows and better manage the terminal. On the right side, some key statistics about active devices are displayed, which is an interesting feature in the time of pandemic to identify congested areas where potentially social distancing may not be respected. It is important to mention that through geolocation, we can track devices even if they did not authenticate on our portal. We just need the device Wi-Fi module activated. Another interesting functionality linked to geolocation is the flow map, where we can analyze people mobility within the building. From each predefined area, we're able to monitor where people move and how long it takes to go from one location to another. Now, let's explore another functionality inside the platform. You can manage the quality of service directly from our portal and create as many quality of service plans as you wish. Inside each quality of service plan, you may define different upload and download speeds, as well as customizing the connection process. There are many more functionalities available, and we stay at your disposal to further present it. This is the end of our presentation. I would like to thank you all for your attendance. And now, Ashish will give the last words before we go for a Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone and Joseph for this great insights about the zoox captive portal and the relevant business cases you bring it up from the transportation industry. May I request both of you to kind of switch on the video, Irwan and Joseph, so that all participants can see you. I mean, who are the great presenters today. So, and before we begin the Q&A session, I want to make one excited announcement. So you can see on this slide, zoox is offering 2 months of complimentary access to all the participants of this webinar to kind of explore this tool. And if you have any query regarding this free offer or discuss this solution in detail or any queries, I mean, you have the contact details on this slide, sales@cloudwifi.com, or you have my phone number. So you can contact us and we'll get this answered. So now I ask all the participants to unmute themselves and it's time for Q&A. I mean, if you want to ask anything to both Irwan and Joseph, so please feel free to ask. So we can have a round of Q&A for around 10 minutes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Ashish.
Hey, hi Premkrant.
How are you? Thanks for such a great presentation and a demo as well. So just one curiosity wise, I want to see if it is possible to see the device, how exactly it looks like, how much space it occupies in a typical bus scenario. So if possible, if Irwan can share a photograph or maybe the product, you can say catalog, that would be really helpful.
Well, basically, there are several different models. It depends on the brands, but they are very, very small devices. I know some brands are able now to do some devices the size of a smartphone. They are really specialized products for buses or for trains or metros with specific specifications. What I suggest, because it depends on the brands you work with, is after this presentation, through Ashish and Gautam, we can share with you some example of devices.
Priyanka, this answers you, and we can probably take this in detail later on as well. Priyanka, are you there? Okay. Any more questions, guys, from anyone? I think Gautam, you have some questions, right?
Okay, thank you all. On behalf of the customers, I want to ask you, how do they avail this 2 months free license?
Okay, all right. To set up a POC for 2 months free of charge, it's simple. We will need to set up a meeting to understand the infrastructure of the customer and also to discuss which functionalities the customer want to implement. So to do so, to schedule this meeting, it's just to be in contact with Ashish and Gautam, and we will discuss together. Then, once we know which type of infrastructure the customer is using and the functionality he wants to test, for us on our side, it takes us 1 week to 10 days to set up an entire captive portal environment.
Thanks everyone. I think this answers Gautam's questions. Do we have any more questions, guys? Please feel free to shoot them. One of the question is on the chat window. Everyone is from Madhu. I mean, he's asking, what are the statistics we can see for the end user? I mean, you showed like gender or some kind of profiling. So what all we can get to know about the end user?
Okay, what we showed during the presentation, the end user will have access to it also. However, we showed only less than 10% of the different reporting and statistic capabilities of the platform. There are many more data and statistics available. Obviously, we provide training as part of the offering, free, including in the package to our partners, but also to the end user.
Hi, Aaron. How are you? I have a question.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
My question is how first you can develop the OTP things and financial things for the charge for the user. How I mean the payment gateway. How first you can use it. There are some payment gateway we have to use from our end, not from the global one, right? So how fast you can do it.
Okay, on our side, we have the API for OTP and also for payments, right? So then it's just a matter of talking with the partner on the other side, the OTP SMS provider or the payment gateway provider. And it's a matter of integrating APIs on both sides. It depends on the complexity. Sometimes we manage to do it within 1 week. Sometimes it takes us 1 month.
Okay, hope this answers. I mean, I think folks are asking me to unmute. I think you can all unmute yourself. There is an option, so just go ahead and unmute yourself to ask the question. Please feel free to do that. We can have a couple of more questions if folks are. Mohideen is asking to unmute. I think Mohideen, you can unmute yourself from your end. Just.
Okay, I don't know what happened next. Sometimes it's got unmute from my side.
Okay.
Maybe no problem. Okay. Hey, Aaron, I have another question. The thing is that as I know you are developing in India, right? So I think Joseph or you can answer me perfectly. So are you guys implementing any local server over there, or is it just going for the ASW?
We are hosted in the cloud on the Amazon Web Service. This is how we tend to develop. So we follow the presence of Amazon in the different regions of the country. Obviously, the key decision for us to implement something more local depends on the volume of activity we will have in the region or in the country. If we are talking about 1-2 hotspots, it will be complicated to localize a solution. If we are talking about hundreds of hotspots, it's another conversation. Obviously, one key point is if the local regulation requires to have the data hosted locally, this is something we will have to look at very carefully.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. There's one more question from Sachin, and this question is: Do we have a basic network diagram? How it works with Cisco? I think Irvana, you have mentioned in one of the slides, kind of compatible with almost all the leading brands, including Cisco, right? I mean, all of the brands. Can you just, I think, go to the slide and this will answer the question, I believe, which Sachin is asking.
What I can show you is a knowledge base, basically. Okay. Where you have all the different brands and models we can integrate with. Okay, so you can see Cisco, we have procedures for 4 different models. When you enter inside one procedure, you have everything explained and detailed how to integrate your infrastructure to our captive portal solution.
Hope this answers Sachin's question. Sachin, hope you're good with this answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Or anything you want everyone and Joseph to elaborate? Okay. All right. I think it's time for me to say thank you and goodbye. So thank you everyone and Joseph, I mean once again for this great insights about this zoox captive portal solution. I think audience, we will share you the details about this free offer on your email ID, your email ID. So how you can avail, how you can go about, and any further details you need about this solution, please feel free to contact us. And we really appreciate your time, taking out this time and spending last 1 hour with us. Sure, I mean, it was a great learning experience for us, especially, I mean, I had a good takeaway from this session. So thank you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and a goodbye.